Using references is cheating. With that being said, let's learn how to use them. Yeah, if anyone ever told you that, they are definitely dumb and have no idea what they're talking about. But today we're going to talk about references, and I also have no idea what I'm talking about. And this may seem like common sense for a lot of y'all, but whenever I was first starting out, I had no idea where to begin with references. I too thought it was cheating, and the most I ever did was mindlessly copy other people's pieces, and that did nothing for me. So hopefully this helps you out if you're struggling with that. Just to preface this, I am no expert, and these are just some of the things I've picked up from doing digital art the past 2.5 years. That being said, I think it's always a good idea to just take any art advice with a grain of salt, and I'm just sharing these tips as if I were talking to my past self, and with all that out of the way, let's get started. As artists, we use references in order to draw things accurately. And that's pretty much it. But to go deeper into it, you don't want to waste all your time trying to remember what a face looks like, when you can just bring up a reference photo of one. And this becomes way more difficult if your visual library isn't even built up. And your visual library is exactly what it sounds like. It's your mental storage of images and concepts from all kinds of media, whether it be from manga, anime, music videos, or even real life. For example, I've been in the middle of a drawing and just thought I don't remember what a side profile looks like, but I remember a specific image that I have in my mind that then I can go back and reference. Step 1 would be accessing your visual library, and the next step would actually be pulling up the reference. Unless, of course, you've built up your visual library and muscle memory well enough to be able to do it without a reference. Which brings up a quick tangent. The people who are able to draw from memory used references before. They have just drawn so much and have such a vast visual library that they are able to do it from memory. No one just comes out the room knowing what everything in the universe looks like. Anyways, let's find out how we actually find these so-called references. References can quite literally be anything. As I said before, you can reference real life, or you can even reference other people's art. I myself have over 2,000 pieces of saved art from Twitter that I cycle through for wallpapers or use as study material as well as references. And no joke, I have been in the middle of working on a piece and then remember a specific lighting situation from an older saved fan art from Twitter that then I pull up and use as a reference. And when it comes to real life lighting scenarios and poses, I use Pinterest 99% of the time, but I'm pretty sure most artists already do that anyways. If I'm not using Pinterest, then it's because I'm looking for a specific hand pose, in which I would just take a photo of my own as a reference. Oh, and if I'm drawing something not so safe for work, then we can maybe talk about that in a I Draw Ludes video or something. Anyways, use references to whatever extent you want to. Mimic the pose exactly how you see it, change the face angle, use the same lighting, copy the color palette. The cool thing is, you are able to pick and choose exactly what you are referencing from said image. And quick tip, if you can't get a pose down, then trace over it, break down the anatomy, try to understand the construction of the reference, and then redraw it without tracing. Because if used correctly and as an educational tool, tracing can be really freaking broken. Now on to the last point. Where do you draw that line when it comes to referencing? Well, I don't think there really is a clean-cut answer to this, but again, just be conscious as to what you're referencing. For example, I love Rurudo's art. I love the way she draws eyes, and I try to mimic some of her anatomy, and I really admire her soft style look. So whenever I have one of her pieces pulled up for reference purposes, I know exactly what I'm looking for. I'm not trying to completely imitate her style, but rather use it as an inspiration. Don't be afraid to let your instincts kick in as you try to stray from your reference. In fact, I think that's the best part of the process. whenever you come up with new interpretations by transforming what you see from a reference with that of your own style. However, do be careful when looking at other people's art, because when I first started out, my quote-unquote reference boards just became cluttered with art that I really liked the look of. And in the end, my pieces just ended up looking messy due to the lack of preparation and art direction that I had. In other words, don't have too many references open at a time. At the end of the day, all art is derived from pre-existing things. All of our personal styles are just a combination of other people's interpretations that we've consciously or subconsciously picked up. And now that I say that out loud, that sounds way too pretentious. Just use references, man. Look at real life, look at media, follow artists. Get out there and build your ever-expanding visual library. Anyways, hope this helped at least one person out there. Well, that'll be it today, and I will see y'all in the next one. See ya.